Hello again, my name is B. Yvette Myers, and today we're going to talk about the agony of infidelity. Let's get started. In order to talk about the agony of infidelity, we're going to start off with the stages of a relationship. First, the attraction and the romance phase, the honeymoon phase. That's when you meet your partner and you like the way they smile, you like the way they look, you like the way they talk, you like the way they walk. Then the next stage is reality. The things that you found that were adorable in the beginning, they begin to become overshadowed by the things that you start to notice. Um, this is when many people stray this close to the relationship. Now, keep in mind that this can start this between the attraction stage and the honeymoon, the attraction and the romance and the honeymoon phase to the reality stage. That can happen over a matter of months. That does not happen in a matter of weeks or 10, even though it can. But many people stray and transitioning from the honeymoon phase to the reality phase. This is where many stray. Some are hooked on the honeymoon phase. They like the fact they love to be in love. But when reality starts to set in, when real life starts to hit, it hits differently. Then they start to, this is not what I want. And then they go find something else or someone else to love. Right after reality, an opportunity can be taken to revisit why you decided to enter the relationship. You can revisit the priorities that you had and entering the relationship during the honeymoon phase. If leaving or separating or breaking up is not something that you want to do, revisit why you got together. The next stage is the stability. Couples that begin to dig deep find stability, build on their strengths, and communicate through their disappointments. Staying together and building becomes priority. The next stage is commitment, a continuous from stability. After the foundation, commitment is a natural outcome. Commitment is a conscious decision. You both are making conscious decisions to move towards a goal, a common goal. Self is dedicated to the partner. You're not losing yourself, but yourself is dedicated to your partner, and nothing is allowed to come between the two of you. Union is formed through attacking outside forces. You guys attack anything that try to attack either one of you. Though this is the end of the cycle, during different times and in a couple's relationship, they can begin the cycle over and over again. The best thing about this cycle is re-entering this cycle at year 8, 9, 10, 12, 15. Those are the years that when you start to re-enter this cycle during those times, that it can be very beneficial. It is ideal to revisit attraction, reality, and stability. Again, it is ideal to purposely revisit attraction, reality, and stability. Now let's get to the good stuff. What happens when a partner cheats? This likely occurred in the reality stage, right after the honeymoon, getting into the reality, and in the midst of the reality stage, this is when infidelity likely took place. Keep in mind that as we age, reality is a continuous and not concrete. Reality at 20 years old in a relationship, reality at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and so forth is always going to be different. It's always going to be a different reality. Both parties are embarrassed. In the event of infidelity, both parties are embarrassed. Who knows why there wasn't I told? That can be on the person that was cheated on. A sense of betrayal from everyone that people believe that did they know? Did anybody know what was going on? Why didn't anybody tell me? And then a desire to hide and go away, to just leave. Don't want nobody to know where you are. You just want to just leave. And then we're at denial. This really didn't just happen, did it? I can't believe that my life is in this point right now, and so forth. Then we have thoughts of how could he anger? How could they do this to me? Do my partner find me attractive? And that's on both parts. What does the other person look like? I threw that in there because I was talking to couples, or I was talking to individuals, just asking basic questions, and I realized that I wanted to throw something in there, add to that effect, because the other person's appearance comes up at some point, either internally or it's expressed externally. But it's a comparison of what they have that you don't have, or but it's not healthy, because everybody offers something different, and to compare yourself to your significant other's lover is only going to make you mad. It's going to make you mad, and it's destructive, should I say. Why didn't I see this coming? A sense of I can't believe I'm this stupid. How could I have not known? Then we enter depression, thoughts of having to tackle the world alone. Now I got to raise these kids by myself. Feelings of alone. I'm going to grow old alone. No one understands what I'm going through. Then you know what? That can now take us right back into anger. And it can be directed towards other happy couples. That sounds crazy, but it can be. Towards couples that have repaired their relationship. It can be things can be said about and to couples like that. Towards the children, this is where we usually find children are abused. When parents break up and one parent has the largest amount of stress, and children can be abused at that time. They're very vulnerable at this time. And it can be directed towards the cheating partner. Now, also, this is where many times that the person that caused the chaos puts themselves in a position to be taken advantage of. Now, before I lose y'all, even though cheaters cheat, they still can be taken advantage of. And before you say they deserve it, what I'm talking about is when it gets to the point of abuse. Some people feel validated that it's okay for them to treat their significant other like crap because their significant other cheated on them. And what that does is it destroys the relationship even more. It degrades the relationship even more. Making them feel like continuous crap is not going to put the relationship back in a better place. If you don't want to be there, please consider all parties and put yourself in a solid state of mental health. Then we get to acceptance. Few people reach this level. Many try to rush to this level. Many try to get to this level. It's like, you know what, I'm done with this. I need to get on with my life. But then the smallest things, the triggers, the small triggers, and I'm not talking about anniversaries or children's birthdays or going to a function together. I'm talking about laying in the house and you've got you have an entire new apartment or entire new home, and you see a bug running by, and your spouse used to kill your bugs. That can set you off into a, a, a waterfall. When you try to rush to this point, what happens is you say that you're done, but then you find that you have many outbursts. Many outbursts. Many people also find it difficult to have acceptance even after they've entered another relationship. I know that sounds crazy, but they do. To trust someone is to allow them into the deepest parts or quarters of your life and heart. To let someone into the deepest parts of your heart. And for that to be betrayed, sometimes it's difficult to get those people out of your heart. And that's where we have that's where we can find that we have vindictive when people are being vindictive. That's when we go into child support court every 2 weeks. That's when Dad is coming to pick up the child and you're not in place. You're 10 minutes late. You're an hour late. You don't even show up. That's when you've allowed someone into the quarters of your heart and you refuse to let them out. Many people also begin to question their own sanity when infidelity takes place. Was this all a lie? Everything that we did, was this all a lie? So, in denial, this is what happens emotionally when we cheat. There is a break in your decision making. First, there's a break in your judgment. What you know to be right and what you know to be wrong, there is a disconnect. Then there's a break in your level of confidence, in your ability to make decisions. Then there's a break in the trust that you have for yourself. This is not trust to do with anyone else, but trust that you have for yourself. There's a break in your perspective, in how you see things. There's a break, lastly, in the loyalty that you have for your union, and then bam, you cheat. This is the break in denial. This is how denial takes place. This can happen in a matter of seconds, and this can happen over a course of a couple of months, even a year or so. But this usually happens. This is how denial takes place. When denial takes place, this is how we get to the point of cheating. There's a continuous break from judgment to confidence to trust, perspective, loyalty, and then you cheat. No incident is ever an isolated situation. It happened because there was a breakdown in the area, in all other areas. So before we got to cheat, loyalty was gone, perspective was gone, trust was gone, confidence was gone, and your judgment was gone. Now let's go back to embarrassment. Even with a serial cheater, embarrassment still takes place. They don't want many serial cheaters, and I'm going to be optimistic to say that nobody wants to be considered a cheater from off the bat. Even a serial cheater, when they enter the honeymoon phase, they do not enter the honeymoon phase telling their partner or their potential future partner that they are a cheater and they're going to break their heart. They want that part of their lives to go away. Now, on the other side of the cheat, not or talked about the cheater. Now, for the person that was cheated on, a disconnect can occur when there is an expectation of a level of embarrassment that you want to happen. For instance, you want the person that cheated on you to be ridiculed and hung on the cross, and everybody to just know how much of a horrible person that they are. And when it's not done, then now there's more embarrassment because you want that person, everybody to know that that person is a horrible person. I saw a Facebook post where a lady had her husband, apparently her husband had cheated, and she had him to tattoo the way that it was written, that I am a cheater, and that's some other things on his chest about him being a cheater, cheating on his wife. And I said, my comment to that was, both of them are toxic. Him for doing that, because if he wants to cheat, no woman that's cheating with him is going to even think oh, I'm not going to sleep with you because you have that on your chest. That's not how it works. And, depending on what he can say or do to that, to get past that, oh, this happened in the past, this and this and this, whatever, I was younger, however he want to spin that, that does not mean he's never, ever going to cheat. And what about to the point where he keeps his shirt on? Not everybody take their shirt off doing sex. So I think that was on his part. I said he was mind screwing her to get her to believe, to put her trust back into him. And then for her, she wants him to feel the maximum amount of embarrassment, To me, that relationship is extremely toxic. Now let's talk about anger again. I went through all of these in the beginning, and now I'm going through each one of them individually. Anger happens on both parts, for the cheater and the cheatee. Why are people still talking about this? They need to mind their own business. They need to leave this alone. This is my business. This is this. Now, anger from the cheater because he or she wants this to just go away. And the cheatee because the last, and I know that's not a word, but y'all go with me. The cheatee because the last thing that they want to do is to live their embarrassment in the public. And they're angry at those that won't let it go. At your significant other for not being enough on both parts. If you would have did this, I wouldn't have cheated. Or I can't believe you cheated. I have to do this. I have to do this, and you won't help me with this. It goes back and forth. At yourself for getting caught. And seldom does anger last when directed towards self. Seldom does anger last when directed towards self. This creates cognitive dissonance. Very few people get mad at themselves and stay mad at themselves. They find a way to get past that anger, even when they're wrong. Now we're at depression on both parts. At how you fail your family and friends, at how you succumb to personal desire, and at how selfishness. This can be for the cheater. But depression is felt on both parts. Because someone doesn't display this depression or anger or frustration, or that doesn't mean that they're not going through it. Those that I've spoke with regarding this as I was doing this informal survey, both parties felt depression. Now this was interesting that I found out during my informal survey. I think one day I'm going to actually take the time to actually gather the data to do this again. But what I found out was those that get to acceptance in a hurry cheat again. The cheater, when the cheater gets to acceptance really, really fast, they cheat again because they're trying to get through the embarrassment, the depression, the anger, and all of that stuff. When they hurry up and get through all of those, if they don't take the time to process those things and to find out what decisions they made that were not healthy, when they get to acceptance, if they get to acceptance in a hurry, they likely cheat again. The reality in this is no one knows the details except you and your significant other. Your situation, though it is heartbreaking, it is not unique. Infidelity has been happening since the world since the world has been the world. There will always be those that won't respect the unity of marriage. And if I were to say one more thing, no, the people that you associate with, if they don't respect relationships or marriage, they won't respect your relationship or marriage. Stop trying to convince yourself that your girl or boy that sleep with married people won't violate your union. What makes you special? There is no man code or woman law that will keep two people that have no character away from each other. When infidelity takes place, feelings of worthlessness, guilt, and shame surround the person being cheated on. You feel like your world is coming to an end. The cheater feels these same feelings also, but many times mask them. Again, going back to the 2 slides previously, if they rush through these feelings, if they don't process it, find out the decisions that they make, process the decisions that they make, they will likely cheat again. Cheaters can't put themselves in a position to be abused due to feelings of guilty. Some people say that they deserve it. Some people say that you need to get past it, but I can't say either. I won't say either. But if you put yourself in a position to be abused and to be taken advantage of, you will get tired of it. And when you get tired of it, you're likely going to cheat again. Those that were cheated on can abuse the cheater because they feel that they should treat them badly. Or for instance, I knew a couple that her husband cheated on her, so her punishment to him was to withhold sex. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all process that. So he cheated on her because they weren't having sex, and her punishment to him was to withhold sex to make him suffer. Yeah, okay. If the goal is to move forward, both parties should have the same ideas. They should be dribbling their own ball towards the same goal. You have to work on yourself to get to a common goal, and not both of you try to work on one person, because you are separate people. Two people working on themselves for a common goal, and not two people joining together to work for a common goal, because we are individuals. So let's start bringing this to a close. If you're not happy, say it, but find things that you can do to make yourself happy. You are responsible for your happiness. If you don't want to be in a relationship, say it. Don't wait until something happens or create chaos to secure your exit. Say how you feel. When there is infidelity, anxiety, stress, depression, and all those things are felt on both parts. If the common goal is to work on the relationship and move past it, then both parties have to work individually for the same goal. Quitting is when one person decides to stop because they either don't want to do it or no longer have faith that their partner is going to do work on themselves to get towards the common goal. Find peace in who you are. If you are the cheater, or in the past, if you have put yourself in a position to be abused, reconsider that. You're going to get tired, and it doesn't help anybody. If you are still angry because someone cheated on you, you have to find a way to get those people or get that person out of the quarters of your heart, to open yourself to the point where you can allow them to leave. And once, that's the best feeling in the world, trust me. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to contact me at your leisure. I can be reached at my website, www.betterdecisionsbetterhealth.com, or my email address, yvette@betterdecisionsbetterhealth.com. Also, my phone number is 803-597-2324. Thanks.